Life of Fred Financial Choices. Final chapter, chapter 34. Sunk costs. Founding a university was Fred's goal. He read the books in the library to find out, among other things, how much it would cost him in terms of time, money, effort, and pain to achieve that goal. Once he learned that cost, he had to decide whether he was willing to pay that cost. Every goal in life needs to be looked at from those two angles. What's the cost, and am I willing to pay it? This is called the future. The past is different. The cost does not matter, and there is no decision as to whether you'll pay it. Costs in the past are called sunk costs. They have been paid, and there are no refunds. People who can't tell the future from the past often make terrible choices. They lose a lot of happiness points, financial and otherwise. For example, you buy a stock at $100 and it goes down to $70. The $100 is a sunk cost. It's been paid. That's in the past. When you bought it at $100, that was the best alternative at that time. But that time is not now. You are living in, drumroll please, the present. You have to make a decision now. Many people are tempted to look back to that $100. They think, I'll wait till the stock goes back to $100 and then sell it. That is the wrong approach. What they are really trying to do is not suffer a failure. They don't want to look bad. They never read chapter 26, failure, of this book. Instead, live in the present. You own a stock that is currently priced at $70. Your goal or future is to make money. It isn't to look good. The question to look at is, what do I think this stock is worth right now? You need to guess what its price will be. The $100 is irrelevant. If you think the price will rise, then you buy more. The key point for any investment you own is to pretend you don't own it and ask yourself whether you would buy it today. If you wouldn't buy it today, sell it. Selling is psychologically much harder than buying. You spend years and $100,000 to become a dentist and set up your business. For a year, you have been drilling, filling, and billing. You realize that today there is little joy in dentistry for you. The years of schooling are sunk costs. The huge amount of money you have spent are sunk costs. What really matters is the decision you have to make right now. Pretend you don't own it, the dentistry practice, and ask yourself whether you would buy it today. You have a choice tomorrow morning when you are still in bed. Choice number 1. You could head to your dentist office and effortlessly continue fixing teeth. You don't count the sunk costs. You might be bored, but you will make a very decent income. You can afford almost any vacation that appeals to you. Choice number 2. You stay in bed. Close the dental office. Your mother will not approve of this choice. Choice number 3. You can launch a new career as a carpenter or whatever. It's important to note that big decisions, change of career, marriage, joining the army for 6 years, should not be made on the spur of the moment. Fred chose to charge ahead in his quest to found a university. He finished reading the stack of books and carried them to the librarian so that she could reshelve them. He was aware that 6 years down this road he might encounter an insurmountable barrier. The government might, for example, prohibit the founding of new universities or make the licensing costs so high that new universities couldn't be created. The existing universities would love this kind of legislation. Or he might discover that with all the free education on the internet, the need wasn't there for another teaching institution. Instead, he might found Fred's Testing and Certification Center, which would specialize in evaluating what students have learned from any source and granting Fred certificates that employers could trust. Or it just might be true that someday there will be a Fred's University.